In 2024, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a YouTube court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the 2A team. All right, everyone. This is episode 6 of the 218 podcast, brought to you by, not really brought to you by, but by the SC14 gun cleaner. We got it in the description. This is the best gun cleaner I've ever used. Non-toxic, removes carbon, lead, and copper, biodegradable, smells like oranges. We all love this stuff, and that's gonna kind of bring us into the first topic. If you want to start there, citizen, the suppressor cleaning.
Yeah, I will definitely jump it off. I finally hit the 2000 mark for the Obsidian 9, and I'm ready to clean it. I'm ready to clean it. I'll drop a video. I was watching a lot of videos on how to clean your suppressor. I mean, I've watched them before with Dead Air, but I dropped a video where I was on the phone with a Dead Air representative, and they said, "No, don't clean it. Just keep running it, and it'll just get better." But the Dead Air Sandman S is not the same as the Obsidian 9, right?
Yeah.
And you do have to clean the Obsidian 9, and um, I understand why, because I took it out last week and I had some problems getting the adapter off and things like that. And when I broke it loose, I saw exactly what the problem is. So I finally got to the 2,000 rounds, way past it now. We did about 500 today, and I'm ready to clean it. I'm ready to clean it. And people are saying, simple green, breakthrough, this, that, and the third. I am going to go with SC14. I'm gonna go with that. That's the video I'm dropping tonight. I haven't done it yet, so after the show, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'll tape it, record it, and however it turns out, it turns out. But based on what I've cleaned before with SC14 and done before with SC14, I'm almost positive I'll be just fine. And you're right, it smells amazing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
smells
so
amazing.
I clean all my stuff with SC14. The suppressors, I bought a ultrasonic cleaner from Harbor Freight, and
Yeah,
I used that. Now with the SC14, it's gonna take a little bit longer of a soak. I've only cleaned, like, deep cleaned my Omega 300, which is a sealed can, so you can't really get in there and scrub the baffles or anything. But
right.
I soaked it in SC14 overnight in like a mason jar or something. You could put it in a Ziploc bag or whatever you have. And I threw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Um, shoot. I didn't like do 100% SC14 because that would be quite expensive in an ultrasonic cleaner. I'll do I think the ratio is like um 1 part SC14 to like 2 or 3 parts water, something like that. Um so the SC14, it works pretty good, but you really have to scrub too, and I couldn't scrub the inside of the Omega 300. Now with the Oculus 22 and the Obsidian 9, the baffles come out. You can scrub them with a toothbrush or whatever. So yeah, this stuff works really good. What I found out was, for if you're just purely letting it soak, I used you can use Simple Green. That stuff works pretty good.
Yeah.
CLR works really well and really fast. Now, if I would have let this soak for a few days, it would have been fine, but I'm not that kind of patient. So
All right, so check it out. You know me. I clean a lot of cars. I deal with a lot of cars and stuff, and I own an auto detailing business. So a suppressor, it doesn't really have any working parts inside, that don't need to be maybe
lubed.
touched with a harsh cleaner. It's just metal stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
SC14 has a degreaser on their page, and they sent me some for the auto detailing company. And, they got all the way up to 55-gallon drums if you want. But they sent me some of the spray bottles, and it's actually, you could make 1 gallon out of just a normal size spray bottle, and that's a degreaser. So I sprayed some of that stuff on the rims. You get that brake dust and it
Yeah.
looks all
Yeah.
orange or whatever. Man, took it right off. Sprayed some on a carpet, real dirty carpet. Bought a car, had abused carpet. I did it twice. It came out like new. So if you want to go with a stronger cleaner, they
Yeah.
do make stronger cleaners.
Yeah. Because that's like their main business was or still is really the automotive side. They do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
they started out, I believe, with a formula to clean fire engines, stuff like that. When they come back with
Mm-hmm.
all that ash and stuff on them, then they move to the off-road industry, like people go out to Utah in their Jeeps and
Mudding.
whatnot. Yeah.
What
And
about what about so this is after you clean it. As far as this brand right here, the Permatex.
yeah, that's good to use the lithium grease on your, especially on your pistons
Right.
and your the tri-lug springs and stuff.
Okay. Okay. And that's strictly just for the springs, the
Yeah,
pistons,
the
the
moving
springs. That's
parts
it.
pretty much, yeah.
Got you.
Because I
Got
know
you.
that piston gets dirty even after you
Oh,
throw that stuff on there. It's nasty.
I looked at it today and I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't have any of that stuff. That stuff's actually way better than I use the Lucas gun grease. It comes in a little tube. It's blue, but
Okay.
that stuff would work way better.
So
And
basically degrease it, clean it, but there's no oiling on the baffles
yeah, you don't really
afterwards.
not really a degreasing, but you'll clean the you just clean the carbon and stuff off.
And then wipe it off.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
some of that stuff it gets caked on there, especially you got 2,000 rounds on it. It's going to be good to let it soak, but also scrub it with a bristle brush, like a toothbrush or a some kind of nylon brush. Or I don't like using. I found that you use copper brushes because this stuff does remove copper. It'll it'll eat the coating off of the copper brushes. So just a nylon
So
tooth.
just a nylon brush.
I always use a toothbrush. I got a
Got you.
crayon box full of toothbrushes over there that I use. But I was gonna say, um, I was talking about using CLR. Now with CLR, that stuff will just straight up dissolve aluminum. So
Right.
you have to be careful of your materials and figure out what your suppressor's made out of because you don't want to accidentally, mess it up. So SC14 is literally safe on all materials besides obviously carbon, lead, and copper. So you should be good on that front. Um, I know the anechoic suppressor that I got is aluminum, so I mean I haven't cleaned that yet. I haven't really shot it a whole lot either, but some of the cans, I think the Obsidian 9 may have an aluminum front cap. I'm not 100% on that. It feels pretty light. I don't know if it's aluminum or if it's that stainless steel.
I don't think it's stainless steel, but I'll check it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it absolutely does. It is super light. So
yeah.
yeah.
But I was gonna say, yeah, this will be good on any material pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of that stuff that's not good for aluminum and stuff, it's all it does is just kind of mess up the finish. It doesn't really like actually eat the metal. Like, let's
I
say
guess
if
if
you
you
had
let it soak long enough, it might
if
start
you
to
let it
pit.
soak long enough, but like let's say you had a nice aluminum wheel on your car,
Yeah, you
you
wouldn't want to.
definitely don't want to use it on that because it's gonna make it dull. and mess up the finish. But for like the suppressor, as long as you don't leave it in there for that long, I don't think
Mhm.
it would really, what I mean, hurt it.
And while we're on the topic of this, and then we could jump over if you guys want. So like suppressor cleaning, anybody out here trying to clean your suppressor, there's a concoction called the dip. It's vinegar and hydrogen peroxide. It works really, really well, but there's a caveat. It when it dissolves lead, it's going to create something called lead acetate, and that stuff is super toxic. Like it'll absorb through your skin. You definitely don't want to do that. And if you do,
Uh,
like do it outside, wear gloves, dispose of it properly because it's really nasty stuff. And the CLR, it doesn't produce lead acetate, but it produces lead lactate, which is still probably toxic. Um, I don't, there's like not many studies on it, so it's better to use something biodegradable, non-toxic instead of
Right.
something that's not gonna react with the lead.
There, you turn
right.
on the quickie.
Yeah, you'd be eating those lead paint chips and licking the windows.
Basically. And that lead itself, without anything else, absorbs into your skin anyway in your
Yeah.
bloodstream. So yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, so always even if you're using this stuff, it's if it dissolves the lead's going to be in that solution, so you definitely want to wear gloves and probably do it outside. Even though this is non-toxic fumes, I mean the lead could still be in the water, and if you splash it or something, it gets on you. So yeah, be careful cleaning your suppressors, even your guns really. But
Right.
yeah, that's all I had to say. So I guess you also wanted to talk about the incident that happened over by your place last night,
Oh man, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
And I mean, I wasn't home when it happened. In fact, I was out and I got a text from my other neighbor. And if you can imagine, it's not a cul-de-sac, but it's only one way. If you're coming down that block, you have to live there. You're not coming down this block as a throughway. And if you can imagine 14 houses and 14 people or families that I know all of them, and out of the 14, 12 have been to my class, and all 14 own firearms. Probably more if you go all the way around to the other neighborhood. But long story short, I got a text and it's like, "Did you hear what happened?" I'm like, "Nope, didn't hear what happened. What's going on?" It's like, um, uh, we'll call this person Bill. Bill had an NG. I'm like, NG where? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, he was upstairs in his bedroom and he had an NG, and he came out after it happened and spoke to let's call the other neighbor Ralph. And he spoke to Ralph and he was like, yeah, my wife heard it and yada yada yada. I'm laughing now, but when I first heard about it, it was disturbing because it's not, you have neighbors where you have, you might be four or five houses down. No, this wasn't the case. This is my next door neighbor. Like to my left is their house, and it was on the second floor, and of course the bedrooms are on the second floor, and if you in, uh, adjacent to his bedroom or the bedrooms. It's my child's bedroom, my bedroom, this, that, and the third. And as I said in the video, as I mentioned in the video, it's a different building code out in Charlotte. We have sheetrock and wood. And I've seen countless videos and I've shot through wood and sheetrock and wood and sheetrock and wood and sheetrock. And it's a scary thought to know this. People don't know that a 40 cal will go through three pieces of quarter inch half-inch plywood and sheetrock with ease.
Yep.
And it was pretty scary to know that that happened. The other scary part is, the person. Not only do you know the person, but this is a person that attended your course, your class. Him and his mom, and it was disappointing. And I said it in the video. I don't know if I failed him or he failed me, but when I look back at the class, because I do take my classes for my own purposes, right? So if anybody has to ask me a question about it, did you do this or this? I have documentation. Yeah, I went over that. I went over cleaning and safety, the safety rules at ranges, at home, this, that, and the third. And long story short, he just didn't abide by it, and was pretty disappointed about it, and upset. A range of emotions simply because somebody could have been hurt, and not just my family, but my extended family, which obviously is my neighbors that we all know and kind of rely on each other to keep the whole neighborhood safe. And then this happens. Mistakes happen, right? I get it. I get it. But you can't have that. You don't have that. You don't have that runway when it comes to a firearm when it's
Right.
so simple to be safe with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really fortunate that nobody got hurt or
Yeah.
that bullet could have went out the window and went 300 yards down the road and hit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And like here at my house, I got three little kids. I have I do gun videos, right? So we all do gun videos in the house. Um, no ammo ever is in this room besides when I'm packing up to go to the range, and even then it never goes in a gun. It's in the magazines. All the ammo's down in the safe. The only gun that I have ammo in is my carry gun, and that's always put up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's it really obviously the kids are like super young. They're the older one and the 3-year-old even knows like don't touch the guns at all, ever,
Right.
unless I'm right there with you holding it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've got them trained pretty well on that front to not mess with the stuff.
And that's the key. That's the key, right? It's the key is educate them from a young age, so they
Yeah,
they don't have that curiosity that, I guess the saying goes, curiosity kills the cat. They don't
yeah,
have that curiosity to say, what is this? They know from a young age. My daughter, the youngest one, we didn't. There was no water guns. There were no Nerf guns. No nothing. Right? Because these days, I mean, my platypus looks like a damn Nerf gun. It's yellow and
right.
black. It's like, oh, this looks like a toy. You know what I mean? So there's
Right.
no confusion until she really had that ability to discern between, okay, we know what this is, and we went from there. But also from a young age, showed her what it was, told her what it was, and continued on with that programming so that she understood from a
Yeah.
very young age.
And you got to let them know the consequences.
Consequences,
It says,
absolutely.
"Hey, look, this can kill you. This can kill me." You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
yeah,
not even though like you don't want to put that in your child's head, they need to know sooner
Right.
rather than when it's too late.
I mean, it is
exactly.
a possibility to teach them, no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
And you
Uh,
got another one on the way, two youngins.
yeah.
Silver, your kids are a little bit older.
Mhm.
So I mean, we all gotta
Well, I think it. I don't think this type of stuff is anybody's immune to it. I
Right.
think that if anything, the people that are around them more need to be even more aware of
yeah.
NGs and whatnot. because we are always filming, we are always practicing, we are always taking a picture, we're putting something else on something for a video. And I think if anything, we need to be even more diligent than the normal person because NGs can happen to anybody. You see videos of them happen to range instructors, you see them happening to police officers. It can happen if nobody's immune to it. But if, like if you're not getting complacent,
Yeah.
I don't really think there's a place for you to have one if you're not being
Complacency is a
complacent.
big,
Right.
big thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
Don't
know,
get too comfortable, you
Yeah.
know.
right.
Don't get
Absolutely.
too comfortable.
Yeah, because
Good to be comfortable. I mean, yeah, but don't be, you know what I mean? Always have that little, it's a gun.
yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
gun.
I'd hate to even admit this, but last year we were out there at my sister's place filming, and I thought I only had 5 rounds in the mag. I shot 5 rounds, and I was done. And I pointed the gun at the ground, because in a Glock you always have that I'm gonna dry fire it.
Yeah.
Round went off right there. I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit. I freaked out for a second, but luckily it was, in a safe direction.
Hmm.
But yeah, always triple check.
Way
But
out.
but I
Go
but
ahead.
I'm sure after that happened,
Yeah.
you became super, super, super aware.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I say that because after today's only the 16th, this happened on the 14th. I was at the range today, doing a little couples course or what have you, and I I feel like I was over safety
Yeah.
today when I was
Definitely.
talking to them, and even when I got home and unpacked. When I got home and unpacked, I put the ammo on one side, put the guns on the other side. Then I started reloading my mags, put that on another side, and then started putting everything back in the safe. So I think, unfortunately, this made me even more aware, as I'm sure it did with you after you had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, I watched your video yesterday, and anytime I see anything like that, it's good to put videos out like that out there because when you see something like that and you watch it, it brings that back up in you. If you ever had a situation where you've done something like that and it's kind of not on your mind anymore, or you've trained it into your head, it's always good to refresh on those kind of things, and
yeah,
learn from other people's mistakes for sure. Um,
absolutely.
Yeah. And I know this isn't really the same, but Justin, you had that ricochet a while back, and I'm sure that kind of freaked you out a little bit and
it
made you kind of
definitely,
change the
it,
way that you shoot that steel target.
yeah. I mean, I thought at the time. See, honestly, like I have the video and I had my glasses, I had my everything on, and in the video, I'm going, man, these glasses are fogging up on me. I can't see nothing. And I take them off, and I'm still probably 10, 15 yards away from the steel, and it comes back and ricochets and hits me in the armpit. Now, if it would have hit me in the eye, my eye's gone. My eye's over with. And it's definitely made me a lot more aware about, luckily we can't, so we're not always going to be able to have those instances where it just scares us, you know what I mean? So, when you do get scared like that, you got to rethink the whole game plan you have. I really haven't been shooting steel anymore since then, but I've definitely been wearing my safety glasses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, speaking of shooting steel, I did a stupid thing. For some reason I thought it was a good idea to shoot steel with a 5.56 at like 10 yards.
Wow.
Now
No,
now
that's not a good thing.
now something it wasn't a piece of a bullet or anything. It was a rock that got kicked up from the bullet hitting the ground because the way I have the steel angled, it shatters and then
Goes
it's
down.
angled so it goes down to the ground. But anyway, a
Yeah.
rock hit me in a tiny little pebble hit me right in the stomach. I was like, what the hell was that? Wasn't bleeding or anything, but it was still like hey, no, you got to stand back at least
Yeah.
50, 25, 50 yards or something. Because I've heard stories of guys, especially with 9 millimeter. Um, they'll just bounce off. And I was in my platypus video, I've been talking about, I don't ever shoot steel with the subsonics because I've seen the bullets hit the steel and just bounce off and hit a tree next to him or
Mhm.
something.
Right.
So the 115 grains, those things
Zip.
100% of the time, well, not 100% probably, but majority of the time you'll see they hit the steel, they flatten, and then there's a
Uh-huh.
little coin looking thing on the ground in front of them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, but
150,
the 147, different.
yeah,
Yep.
no,
No.
those things, and even the 220 grain 300 blackouts, I've shot literally just like if it hits the ground, it'll bounce and tumble. You can hear it. So I got that wood block out there that I shoot, and they'll just go in, and most of the time those 220s will just stick inside that wood block. And if they do go out the other side, they're super slow. It's not going to be a problem. But yeah, stuff like that is like you always got to make sure you either have a good backstop or there's a very long range behind whatever you're shooting at, and that's one of the main rules of gun safety is like know your target and what's behind
And
it
what's
and stuff like
beyond? Yeah.
that.
See, I think that's what I struggled with whenever I had that ricochet happen. I told Ninja, I sent him the video of it, and I said, it's going to make me look very, very dumb for that ricochet to come back, hit me while I'm wearing no safety glasses. I said, but I also kind of want to do it just so that way someone can see it and say,
Yeah.
hey, well, what a dummy. I'm not going to do that myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
And that was kind of my first experience ever really shooting steel. I just got those plates a few months back. I showed you guys when I got them, and I never really shot it steel before that. It was always paper, cardboard. And I learned pretty quick that they do come flying back at you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With shooting steel, you've got to have it at an angle. So what I used to do out at my sister's is either angle it like that to you. So if it hits it and it does bounce, it's going to go down, or angle it to the side in a safe direction, obviously. So it hits it and it's going to go that way instead of straight on. Now the swinging targets, the hanging targets, or stuff like that, whenever you hit it, all that energy goes into swinging that thing. So it's a little bit more safe than just
Right.
having something
Yeah.
solid mounted to a post or a tree or something. So if you are going to have something solid mounted, definitely have it angled to where when the bullet hits it, it's going to go to the ground. You know what I mean? You're going to hit it and it's going to, well, probably this way down to the ground.
Yeah, the way it's set up at my range,
Yeah.
it's like a 15-degree angle. You shoot and it goes down. But speaking of steel, so I've been thinking about doing this video here about I didn't bring it in, so I've got armor plates, uh 3A armor plates. Thing is, I checked one of them the other day because I was going to do a video on it on like a LBE and loadout. There's an expiration date.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, there's X-ray. Yep.
There's an expiration date on the on the
Right.
armor.
Hmm.
But does that mean it's less effective? I don't know. And I purposely have not done any research on it because I want to take it out to the range and shoot it. So I figured, let me ask you guys if what do you think, or have you? I mean, what do you know about an expired armor plate? Both of them, both of my LBEs, or the plates of my LBEs are expired now.
Yeah, I think with are those I forget the material, like a polyethylene or something like that.
No, these are straight rolled plates. Like I have plates.
Oh, metal,
Yeah,
steel. I
yeah,
Yeah,
think I think the steel obviously isn't going to go bad. I maybe the coating, are
it
they
actually
coated?
does have an expiration date, though, Ninja. The
Yeah.
steel
yeah,
plate,
This
I
it's the
think it's like
coating
10
though.
years.
I'm pretty sure it's a regulation. Like if
Yeah, the
I've
coating on
seen a
them.
lot of that in the oil field. There's things that weren't ever going bad, but they would have expiration dates on.
But that coating, I guess the coating's there to stop fragments from
yeah.
going
This
in
the
where
sprawl.
yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
do. So I wonder
that'll
if
start
that's
to
what it
degrade over
is.
time. Kind of like I guess any plastic really, I mean, a lot of plastics take a long time to degrade, but it's not really a plastic, it's more of a rubber. And as you know, rubber, your tires, you let them sit for 10 years,
Hmm.
they're dried out. So it's
So so
probably
is
similar.
that it?
Probably something similar to that.
Yeah.
It has a shelf life, I guess.
So,
But
so
would it make the steel any less effective? No, but you could have issues where maybe the glue, the adhesive they use to stick that stuff to the steel just
coming loose.
degrades, and then when you shoot it, that just gonna flake off or chip off instead of being like a rubbery thing to stop the fragments. So it would be cool to see if you have expired plates, shoot them and see like, hey, this is why you want to keep up with your expiration dates because you know you have this thing sitting in your closet for 15 years and then suddenly shit
Yeah.
hits the fan, you have to use it. Well, you better freaking keep up to date with your expiration
Hey,
dates on those.
hey, but that's an expensive cool though,
Yeah,
because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet, pun intended, and make that my March Madness video where I take my expired plates out and shoot them to see if they still work.
yeah.
I might still do it. I'll do it.
And
Whatever.
like I have a set of steel ones and then I have a set of ceramic I think those are made with the polyethylene and those have a shorter shelf life than the steel ones.
Really?
And I guess it's the same concept that adhesive that holds the ceramic all together just
Hmm.
degrades over time and then it's less effective.
Well, what it says here, I'm not sure that it's. I mean, it's Google, obviously, but it says most of the time the armor plates, the expression dates are primarily to represent the manufacturer warranty period.
Okay, that makes
Mm.
sense.
Cover their
Um,
ass and stuff too, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
know.
but that's Google, so there's probably 20 answers different on here, but um,
Yeah.
that would make sense to me. But I'm sure that in some way, shape, or form they can degrade over time.
Maybe
But
that's just like the pharmaceutical industry putting expiration dates on your Tylenol, so you have
right,
to buy some every couple of years.
right.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Man, even water goes out of date. Bottled
Yeah,
water will go out
they
of
got
date.
the expiration date on water.
I mean, they're just trying to get us to buy more, man. This is America.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, me. But you should do some testing on it. Are they're out of date now?
They're definitely out of date now. This one,
Test them and test them
the
up
one
to
that's
manufacturer spec. For those plates and see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, what
yeah,
would be good if you could swing it is get a brand new plate of the same brand if they're still
Hmm.
in business
and shoot both
and shoot both
Yeah,
and see.
the
That'd
difference.
be a
but
good
you got to make sure
comparison.
they're going to send you another set. For your
Yeah, be
service.
like, hey, I got this plate, it's expired. I was wanting to know if you guys wanted to send out a brand new plate. I want to do some testing. Maybe they'll send you out a whole
Try to
set. I don't know.
I'm gonna
I'm
try to
on
put up
it.
some videos on that later on tonight. You know what I mean? There's got to be one dude like I got my grandpa's old armored steel plates. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They're
Right,
25 years old. Let's see if they hold up. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Those old flak
right,
jackets.
Gerald
and
Dean says if anything hits the fan, she's just putting the cast iron over, the skillet.
Yeah.
right.
Oh my gosh.
Ninja, show us. I don't know if we caught it on camera. The jackal,
Jackal.
the jackal upgrade.
The bullpup jackal.
Look at that bad boy.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Reap Weaponry's SCY or Psi chassis. It's pretty cool little bullpup chassis
Hey, that's
Sheesh.
super cool. That'd be a great bag in.
for your jackal. And I was showing him before we started. This is a 10.5 inch AR,
Mm,
same length.
mm.
Well, this
Right.
one's actually slightly longer with the muzzle brake. But so
Oh
you can
wow.
have a 14.5 inch full size rifle
Mhm.
Look at this. Oh my
in a
gosh.
compact little package. It is a little awkward because it's a bullpup. You have to kind of get used to the controls. So what a lot of people do is they'll get an ambidextrous mag release here,
Mhm.
So you just push that instead, because like doing a mag change, you're shooting, you're coming off, pushing this button,
Yeah,
pulling your mag out, putting the new one
yeah,
in, and then you have to come all the way over here and press the ping pong paddle or hit the charging
Right.
handle here. So it is a little awkward and it's going to take some getting used to. I'm definitely going to see about getting like a cheap ambi mag release. And you can't really put a bad lever in this thing, so you're just going to have to,
yeah. Drop the ping pong. Yeah,
yeah, or hit the
That is really cool, man.
luckily on the Jackal, the lever or the
it's in the
charging
same place. Yeah,
charging handle's right here, so it's really nice and it's non-reciprocating, so it's not gonna.
Right.
And then for the little cheek weld here, I just got one of these rail covers, so it's just like you can
Oh
put
yeah.
your face on that. And now with optics, it's awkward with a regular height optic, but I got this Tacticon Apex Predator V3. It came with like the really tall riser, and it's
Mhm.
like perfect eye level. And then I just got my light on there, so yeah,
I
it's pretty
like it.
super.
cool.
I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
super nice setup. When he put it on, when he showed it to me, I was like, wait a minute. Well, when I saw it on the video, I was like, we've got questions.
Yeah,
What was the
and
company again?
Reap Weaponries.
All right, Reek Weaponry. Citizen 2A Citizens got a Jackal too.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. So you'll be seeing the setup soon.
yeah. And so for the safety, you obviously have your safety back here. Hopefully the
Yeah,
lighting. So you got
right.
this safety, and then you have this safety.
Yeah.
So you have two safeties. Really, you could run this one always on fire and just leave this one on safe, or put them both on safe. And then the trigger, I have the Geisley SSAE trigger, so it's really light for a bullpup anyway.
Yeah.
Bullpups are known for having like pretty bad
Heavy
triggers,
triggers.
but this has an aluminum trigger bar, so it's not really gonna flex. And yeah, it's really nice.
Very
So
cool.
so I'm
Very
gonna
easy.
take this out to the range next time and we'll check it out.
Yeah,
Looking,
can't wait for that one.
looking, yeah, looking forward to seeing that one. I'll
Uh,
be on. I'll be online tonight, looking,
yeah, check that
sourcing.
out. Definitely check that out. They're kind of expensive. That's the only downside. I think they're in the ballpark of $500, I think. So it's not a cheap upgrade.
That's like the Flux Raider, which is
Yeah,
which I'm
Oh,
heavily looking at right now. Let's just say I'm gonna get the newest one because I just like it. But
yeah.
uh,
I know I don't need it, but it's coming eventually.
yeah.
absolutely,
I've been looking at those Flux
absolutely.
Raiders too.
Uh, yeah,
Well,
I'll get
SIG has their
365.
own version. They've partnered with them. They have the Legion version, the
Yeah.
X
Yeah.
Legion version. So that's what I'm looking at now.
Yeah. I think I saw Tyrant CNC was coming out with their own version this year. I think maybe third quarter, second quarter, third quarter
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
Now,
they are.
coming out. I seen it.
Recover Tactical they're getting ready to come out with something similar to the Flux Raider. It's obviously not going to be a chat
Mhm.
whatever it is for the SIG, it's for your Glock.
Really.
Yeah, it's got the pop out race.
Yeah, yeah, I seen it too. I seen that one as well.
I don't know if
I
they
had a
got it on their
structure for it.
site. They're not for sale yet, but it's a little bit different than the one that um you guys got, that 2020.
Well, I find like crazy about Recover Tactical though is they have the holster system.
I like that.
Oh, I think that's crazy cool. You can it's pretty much gives you a universal holster for just about any Glock or whatever you bought the kit for, and then you have a holster for when you have your brace on there as well. Pretty neat, I think.
Yeah,
I
I've
like
used
that
it.
holster too. Yeah.
I've
Go ahead,
used it,
Ninja.
but I was gonna say I've used that holster at the range before, and it's really nice. You either have it on your pistol, or you could just put the chassis straight in it, and then
Hmm.
have
Mhm.
that thing folded, and you're walking around with your little PDW, pull it out, and then you have a nice little compact setup.
Hmm.
So I haven't really opened up my Recover Tactical kit yet and all that, but I know that there's that little Allen key that you attach that one bolt. Now, what I want to know, if you guys know, is there a spot to place that little Allen key, like in the receiver or something, like in the kit?
I'm not
Or
sure.
is it just like you have to hold on to it? See, because the whole point of that, me having one of those, is to be able to put your handgun quickly into
Yeah,
something, not
Yeah,
open it up, look for the Allen key. I'm so thinking how to make a quick connect instead of that bolt on there or
yeah.
something,
That
like
yeah.
transition. Hmm.
Well,
yeah.
their new one that they're getting ready to come out with is a toolless, so it's just got like clamps
And I'm
or
pretty sure you can use the magazine holder
yeah,
as the clamp to the bottom of it now. They just don't suggest it. I don't
yeah,
think the new ones are going to be where you don't have to have any of that.
yeah. I'm trying
But
to find a picture of the new one. I don't remember what it's called though.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
try
good
to get
idea. I
some
might
testing
do
done on
that.
it Monday and Tuesday, and I'll let you know, Silver, if it how it
Mm.
does without that bolt in there,
Yeah.
because it feels secure when you slide your mag holder over the Picatinny. It feels like
Mm.
it's not going anywhere. They don't
Yeah.
suggest it, obviously, but that's the way their new design is going to be. So
Yeah, I think their new design incorporates that G7 divot and it goes on there and I guess it holds it pretty secure. They also have that PIX,
mhm.
which is like it makes it look like an AR, and that I believe just has two little tabs that you flip open and the thing pops open, you throw your pistol in there, so there's no screws on that one.
Mm.
Well, big issue I had with my MCX or MCK. Uh, I hated having to take my optic off every time I wanted to put it in there. Now I know, if you have,
Yeah.
not everybody has 20 or 30 optics laying around, and you don't have to undo it every time you go to put it on something else. But I do like the fact that the Recover Tactical one, you can run your optic on it or on the brace. You have options there. Um,
Yeah, and that was one of the main points in my video I did on it a while back was the Gen 3 MCKs have the optic cutout so you can just run your pistol mounted red dot, but those are also almost three times the
right.
price. But yeah,
But I see it's becoming a huge thing. Everybody's wanting the Flex Raider. They're wanting a Recover Tactical. They're wanting they want all these little, uh, PDWs that they can turn their pistol into it. I think they're neat. But I think
yeah,
they have a place. I think they definitely have a place. I think a lot of it has to do with like the range,
yeah, the
Yeah.
range
where
definitely.
their place is.
You're not
Uh,
gonna concealed carry that thing.
no,
Nah, nah, you're definitely not. Like for me, the Flux Raider, the
That's a
Legion,
range toy.
yeah, that's definitely a range toy. It's like, hey, I got this.
yeah.
Now,
Well, I mean, you
yeah,
could carry it in a bag, and it could be something you grab going out the door to help you a little bit, but there are better options for that.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely,
and I was
absolutely.
gonna say there could for the Flux Raider, there could be like a SWAT team application for that, maybe close quarter military stuff. But at that
MP
point, yeah,
MP5.
you're almost better with an MP5 because you got the same size package, longer barrel, full auto capability. I don't know if they can make the Flux Rare or the P320's full auto, but I mean
I'm pretty
now
sure.
the
I'm pretty
upside
sure
to
they
it
can.
is with the SIG M17 and M18 being a military issue pistol, they could easily just order a bunch of Flux Raider kits, drop their fire control groups in there, and then have PDWs if they needed them. But then at the same time, they could just also carry MP5s or, MP7s or freaking short M4s, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
whatever the SIG MP
yeah.
MCX or
variants.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like the idea of the seven, the MP7. Switching gears, selfish reason here, by the way. Gerson 2311 Match X. Thoughts?
Is that the
Uh,
one that Sticks just
yeah,
got?
Sticks just picked it up. He likes it so far. He's going to put out some more content on it, but seems to be running fine for him.
I gotta tell you though, those Turkish handguns, they're not bad for the price. You almost can't beat them for the price.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
It's
my
Even the
first one,
shotguns, Turkish shotguns too, like
right. You
the
got
one
your
you got, Justin, the
Panzers. Yeah,
Panzer.
you got the Panzers. You got I mean, Canik as a brand, period.
Yeah,
All right. So I've got four. I've got five on my list in 2025.
keeps
That
growing.
Yeah, I've got five. I've got five, and that's one of the five. The Panzer is one of the five, and I'll keep the other three a surprise, a
secret.
secret.
Yeah. I've got a few on my list, but I really don't want to spend the money. I want
Neither do I.
the Desert Tech Wolverine.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
it's a bullpup.
oh, the book.
It's a 308. You can get it in
I
308
know.
or 556. Now with the 308 version, you can get the 556 barrel and the little magazine adapter, and then you can run 556 in it. And
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
cool.
the Wolverine is one on my list. I probably not gonna get it this year. The wife will probably kill me if I do. And one other,
Just the whole name, Desert Tech.
yeah,
I stopped from there. I was like, he's getting a Desert Tech.
yeah.
Hmm.
I checked their booth out at SHOT Show,
Nice.
and yeah, it's those things are awesome. That's one of my dream guns for. They're
Yeah.
I I don't know. I spent almost as much on that damn platypus as I would have on the Wolverine. So
Right.
You're preaching to the choir, bro.
yeah. So yeah, that and then also Colt Anaconda
Yep.
44 Magnum
Mm-hmm.
polished.
Okay.
I want one of
Okay. I
those.
like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
And I want to get a different hunting rifle. I think I want a 6.5 PRC, something
Hmm.
lightweight and super accurate. Yeah, that's kind of my three that I have off the top of my head. Obviously, if I could have them all, I'd have them all.
Yeah.
What about you, Silver or Justin? Any
Well,
dream
uh,
guns for this year?
as you guys know, I can't really buy anything cool
Yeah, I
anymore.
know.
Wow. I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? Last night I was looking at those it's kind of like a mini Draco, but they're what are they called? AKV? It's a
Oh
AK, but it's
yeah.
9 millimeter.
Yeah,
Kind of
like
looking at
yeah,
those, you know what I mean? I would
PSA
like
has
to
a
have
nice
a
one.
yeah, a Z Pap. I would like to have a Z Pap or a mini Draco without that big foregrip. I would have put like a different, maybe like a Johnny Snow grip on it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of cool stuff I would like to have, but I can't. So I don't know. Maybe just a Glock 34 or a 17L, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
17L would be awesome.
yeah.
I like it. I
I
like
think
it.
I'm probably gonna get me one. Probably not an anaconda. Probably a what's the shorter
Python,
barrel length? I think
Python
that's
or
anaconda.
Cobra?
Yeah, the Cobra, right?
Yep, Cobra. Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna make me an Empire Katana um, uh, concealed carry revolver and find me an appendix holster to wear it. And I just be pulling that revolver out. It's gonna have a light on it and a red dot on
Like
it.
Ammo Alchemist.
Yeah, I told Mighty Guns that because he makes holsters. I said whenever I get that, you're gonna have to make me an appendix holster with a mag carrier on the side, but it's only gonna hold one of your clips, your
Yeah.
speed loaders for a revolver. I just
Yeah,
want to pop in there, and when I pull my shirt up, I want to be ready. That is one of the dream guns for the year. I think the kits themselves are only like $1,000, but the gun itself is probably more than that. So
Oh, one of my other it's not a gun, it's You guys know the M1A that I got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get this Sage EBR chassis for it. I saw those
Oh,
at SHOT Show, and a different company is taking up manufacturing of those. I'll try to pull up a picture here.
that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, definitely. They're like $1,100 for just the chassis, but it's
That's like MD. That's like MDT. I love those guys, but I hate those guys.
yeah, those MDT chassis are expensive.
Yeah, I've got one, and I'm sorry to say I'm gonna get another one, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can share my screen here.
The M1 Grand goes in that?
It's
Look at
a
yeah, yeah.
M1A or an
That's beautiful.
M14 style.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Mine good.
those are pretty badass.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yes,
sick
I
looking.
agree.
They make them for the M1 Grands too, I believe. But yeah, that's I'm
What is
really
it,
not.
900? 958 at Brownells.
Yeah, they don't have them in stock though.
Hmm.
You can only get them through oh shit, what's the name? US Tactical Supply.
Hmm.
Those were the guys. They may start shipping to other distributors, but yeah.
It's gonna be a nice build, bro.
Yeah, that I haven't even shot that M1A yet either. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really not trying to spend a whole bunch of money on guns this year, but I keep finding shit that I need or want and buying stuff. Like I just ordered the JMac furniture for that Z-Pap and I got the brace for it, and I'm like, oh my God, supposed to be saving money.
I've been saying that for the last 5 years, but hey,
YOLO.
my New
Yeah,
Year's resolution is like I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna
yeah,
focus on what I got. All right,
literally.
yeah.
Literally, that was my New Year's resolution is not buy shit.
Yeah.
And then it's February and I'm still like kicking myself.
It's hard. And then you wake up in the morning, you get all these emails from
Yeah.
PSA and everybody
Uh,
else.
Right, right, right.
I
Yo,
saw a
Valentine's Day
good,
sale. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You're
Yeah.
like,
President's
damn, I
Day
gotta get it.
sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how JMac got me on those hand guards. They had a code for their Valentine's Day sale. I was like, shit, I'm saving $50. Might as well might
It's
as well buy
it,
it.
what's
Won't
so
hurt so
funny.
much.
What's so funny about that? So I went out. I was at Point Blank today, and you know when I was wrapping up, they know me out there because I go there all the time. Blah blah blah. I do business with them, and I'm leaving, and he's like, uh, Marco is like, hey, you want to check out a couple of new things we got in? And he had the fuse. I saw it. I saw it there, and then I also saw it at Black Zone afterwards. But he had the fuse, and then he had the regular Gerson and something else. He's like, listen, if you want, you could just come here and shoot this for free, no problem. You know, you bring your clients here, yada yada yada. You know, we'll give you a discount if they buy. You know, if they purchase one. I'm like, ah. And in my, so I'm telling him no. In my heart, I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna come back here and
Yeah.
we're gonna get this.
Right.
Yeah.
But nah, it's I'm gonna stay strong. I'm gonna wait till after April 1st. April Fool's Day is gonna be my first pistol purchase on
Right.
April Fool's. I'm gonna do it. I'll do a funny video on that. Calculated.
Well, I'm picking up the 36M on Tuesday, and
Damn it,
You got
man.
I'm gonna
approved
have to
already?
buy a few guns to run it. Just to you know get the money's worth out of it.
Yeah. So, how
Mm-hmm.
long was your approval?
It's not approved yet. I got to go Monday to pay for it.
Certify.
Uh,
They're closed on Sunday, closed on Mondays, so I got
so
to give
you
them
can't pick it
Tuesday
up
shot on
yet.
paperwork. And hopefully it doesn't take but a couple of days. So
Yeah. With it being your first, it might take a little longer.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that guy Bear Some Arms, he got that Q Erector 9, and that thing took freaking 3 weeks, I think, maybe a little bit longer. It all depends on the person, really. If you're, it's weird. I don't know why, but I mean, first, the first two that I, or not the first two, but the, after my Omega 300, I bought those two, got them back in 1 and 2 business days. The
Yeah.
third one, it took like 10 or 15 days. And then this other one took 4 days, I think. So I guess it's just,
At
and it
least it's
got
not
approved on a
hearsay, you know.
Saturday. Yeah.
At least you're not waiting years like you were before, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I never bought one before because I was like, I'm not spending
I'm
that
not
money.
waiting a year. Yeah.
Yeah, get out of here.
My buddy bought one before I even got my Omega 300, and his took a year, and mine took nine
Jesus.
months.
But that's the first one.
That's
The first one.
well, that was before they enhanced their system and made it super
Oh,
fast for everyone.
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
people doing trust and trust are known to be a lot longer.
Longer.
People are getting trust approvals back in just a few days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Their system has got to be just crazy because they definitely don't do first in, first out. They get a stack. They probably get a stack, each of them, say, here, go through these, go through these, go through these. Then
Hmm.
some people work faster than others. Some people are probably just there dicking around doing two a day, and the other guy, he's freaking drinking 2 Red Bulls and an Adderall, and he's
And
flying
running through
through
everything. Yeah.
them.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
doesn't take
that's
that
that's
long.
that's what I that's exactly what I feel is happening. Literally. Like for example, I had to renew my concealed carry permit. And I went down to the sheriff's office and submitted my application. And before, so I had clients complaining, saying, "Hey, I submitted this, and I haven't had anything for 6, 7, 8 months. This is way past COVID. We're talking about 2024, July 2024, and people are still waiting 6 months." It's because there was a component in is uh, not a psych eval,
Hmm.
but there's a group that has to confirm that you have not been what's the term? My gosh, I can't. There's there's a group that says, hey,
Oh,
this
we got him in here.
yeah, this person has not been deemed, yeah, with like some sort of medical defect, psychological defect. So there was a group. So believe it or not, when you fill out your 4473, it goes through that and logs all that information. But if you're getting your concealed carry permit, it's a little bit deeper where they go into the medical, make sure you don't have any problems, this and the third. And that component in Charlotte went away in October 24. So because everything was backed up, 60 to 120 days to get a concealed
Jeez.
carry permit.
Dang.
Ridiculous.
Jeez.
Ridiculous.
We got low pro operator in here. He just joined.
Yes, sir. Mic is off.
Yeah, his camera's not on either. He said he was at the gym, I think.
Okay, Jim
S
Rat.
See if he pops in here.
Hey, Low Pros,
What, you riding the
good to have
bike?
you on, man. How you doing?
Oh, he
I'm
hopped.
doing good, man. Yeah, no, I'm hitting the exercise bike, trying to get some cardio.
Yeah,
Good deal.
he was on a live stream with Everything Yukon last night, and I was watching it for a while. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually I might have gotten in a little bit of trouble with the wife last night, staying up too late.
I know
I think I
you were you're Eastern time and you were up till I was
about
like
two.
12:30 or something, yeah.
No, I was like 1:30, 1:45, and then by the time I had to put all the mags away and get all my gear away, it just slept on the couch, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, slept on the couch.
You're lucky you didn't have to sleep in the doghouse. it's so crazy, because everybody's in a different time zone. And I think about that some nights, and it's like 1 o'clock here, and I'm like, I gotta go to sleep,
Yeah.
and people are just now, kicking everything up, on the West Coast.
Yeah, that was the thing when I was in Vegas. It's West Coast time, and I wasn't really used to it. And I was trying to text my wife and something. It'd be like 10 o'clock there,
Hmm.
midnight here, and she's got to get the kid up for school in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to going back next year to Vegas. Hopefully, we can all go out there,
I'm going. I'm
shot
doing whatever
show.
I gotta do. I'm going.
Yeah,
I
It's
tried to
in
talk my wife into that. I don't know how she feels about it yet.
Mhm.
yeah,
it's in the budget. I'm making the budget right now. And I like the reason. Okay, let me say it like this: the reason why I like PSA, or why I've come to like PSA, is because when I found out that they were in North Carolina, they're based out of South Carolina, but they have a brick and mortar in North Carolina. And when I found their store in North Carolina, and I went there, these guys are into shooters. They're like, listen, whatever the problem is. If you're coming in there with an issue, or if you're coming in there and looking for something, they're not selling. They're not in the business of, I want to sell a pistol to somebody who knows nothing about nothing. They literally help you, and I've
yeah,
never seen that at a gun store before. I've been I've been a lot. I've been to a lot of gun stores. Well, PSA will tell a person, I don't think that's the pistol that you want, and I've seen it firsthand in Lake Norman, the only PSA store in North Carolina, because they're out of South Carolina. I've seen it firsthand where a salesperson said, "I don't think that's the pistol you want. So maybe you should rent some pistols, or I'll just let you shoot some pistols to
yeah,
see if you're comfortable with them." And that is a selling point for me, period, regardless.
definitely.
Yeah.
And
So,
their stuff is good. Like,
and their stuff is good.
yeah,
They took the feedback. They took
definitely.
the feedback. I've got. I mean, even today, I went out shooting today, and then a couple of weeks ago, and I have some nice ARs or whatever. But you know what I'm pulling out of my safe to go shoot?
The
That
Yeah.
damn
jackal.
that damn jackal.
Yeah.
and I I almost want it to malfunction, and it's not.
Yeah. I've only had the jackal malfunction when I was didn't have the gas adjusted right, shooting suppressed.
Well, that was I didn't have so that was my first outing. Yeah, I had four malfunctions, but like you said, I didn't have the gas adjusted properly, and I wasn't using the right ammo. But then I figured out the gas setting that uses all
Yeah.
every ammo, and I've never had a problem since. I've never had a problem since.
I'm
All
getting
right.
through. But no, as far as PSA goes though, the AR-10 video I just dropped, I ran that thing completely dry. I didn't adjust the gas system. I ran it suppressed. I was ejecting shells forward, and it only jammed on me with steel case once or twice. So
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
I love PSA. I think they make great products, but them and BCA, as they ramped up production, they their QC, they can't. I just feel like they can't keep up with the amount of products that they're releasing sometimes,
Yeah.
and that's where you
BCA
find loose
especially.
screws and stuff like that. I mean, I've had a couple of BCAs that I checked the parts and I've liked them and they're great parts, but I've had barrel nuts come loose while I was shooting, which is really scary. With an AR-15, your barrel nut, you just torque the handguard and your barrel nut comes loose. That's crazy, but
Mm.
Oh, a lot of people that I've talked to over there at SHOT Show, they say Anderson, everyone talks shit on Anderson lower. they make a lot of private label lowers for a lot of other companies too. It's the same lower, just a different brand on it.
Right.
I
Yeah,
use Anderson and I've never, I mean, a lower is a lower in my opinion.
Yeah.
Other than having the fancy ambidextrous controls and stuff, it's still lower.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the ambi controls kind of get you in a little bit of a bad training habit as well, because if shit hits the fan, who's to say you're going to be able to find parts to
Yeah,
fix these ambi lowers? And
exactly.
you need to be prepared to do it with something mil spec, just as good as you can with ambi controls, in my opinion. But because your average mil spec AR-15 is what you're going to be able to find parts for when something bad happens.
Right.
You're not going to be able to find parts, for a radian lower with ambi controls on it. And then you've created so many training scars by using your ambi controls. I don't know. I want something with ambi controls, but I think that I
Yeah.
would personally make sure I got proficient with something mil spec first.
right.
Yeah. Also, the thing about mil spec is, or Anderson lowers, they're $60.
Right. I
Uh,
think, yeah, there was like one for like $45 at the local gun store the other day, and
yeah.
I could have bought it, but I didn't.
And some of those other high-end lowers are $300. It's going to do the same exact thing, but you have an extra mag release, and I'm right-handed, so I mean, I could really care less about an ambi. I do like
Right.
having the ambi safety though. That is one thing that I like having because
Yeah,
I can come off with my finger and flick the safety on.
you can buy ambi safety for $50. The
Yeah,
Strike Industries is $59.99 for
yeah,
that 45-degree angle
yeah.
ambi.
But
Yeah.
other
Yeah,
like the bolt catch, bolt release, and all that, I don't care if it's ambi or not.
I,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
I
some of
actually,
these high end companies make great guns. Don't get me wrong, the $2,000 and $3,000 ARs, you're never gonna have a problem with those things. It's one in a
Well,
million if you do. Um,
this one guy, he had a Noveski, that
yep.
Tyler or whatever,
Yeah.
$4,000 rifle. After 600 rounds, the gas rings went out
Yeah.
on him, and he emailed the company. They said, "Oh yeah, that's normal. 600 rounds, gas rings
That's
are
that's
already
$600
done."
normal.
rounds.
Yeah, that's normal way. That's like your car dealership saying, "Oh, your car burns 3 quarts of oil
Yeah,
every
yeah,
3,000 miles. That's normal
yeah.
wear and tear."
I do I used to do a lot more training and I would do pay to train where I would go to like ex special operators, pay a couple $100 and they'll train you all day. And I went to a group with probably the cheapest low end PSA AR-15 for like $450 rifle. And I was the only one that didn't have a jam up that day. It was pouring rain. It was 35 degrees outside and we were outside in the pouring rain all day. My rifle was the only one that didn't jam. So everyone else, they
Yeah,
had, $2,000 rifles jamming up, mags wouldn't fit in properly. It was so,
those
and
tight
that's,
tolerances.
and that is true. They have really tight tolerances. So changes of temperature really mess with
Yeah.
things. Those are the Gucci brands of rifles. They're great rifles. They're great to look at. I think SIGs, for instance, the SIG Rattler, like the paint, the scheme, the etching's a little bit different than a normal AR. I think it's a beautiful rifle. And I actually would really like to own one, but
Yeah,
I don't have that kind of money all the time.
they're
So
expensive.
yeah,
I think the only real reason why you buy one of them 3, 4, $5,000 rifles is if you're going to shoot 20, 10, 20,000 rounds out of this barrel and everything. I mean, for the most part, a cheap rifle is going to do the trick for anybody. You know what I mean? Because we're not out there shooting 10,000 rounds through it.
Yeah.
We're buying a cheap one, we're fixing it up, and then next thing you know, we got another cheap one. I don't think really the high end rifles are for people like us, really, in the end, because we're never
Right.
going to put that many rounds through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, my theory is
Agreed.
if I'm going to put 20,000 rounds through it and break it, I'd rather have 3 to 5 cheap uppers.
Right.
And it's still going to be significantly cheaper than buying one of those rifles.
Right. I agree.
So
100%.
blow a gas tube, just
Definitely.
pop 2 pins and on to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Silver, you want to take us out, my brother?
Yeah, yeah, sure. We could end on this note. Hey, we appreciate everybody joining us and watching the podcast. And we also would like to give a big thanks to Low Pro Operator for joining the episode 6 of the podcast. And you guys already know the deal. If you like the podcast, like the podcast. If you ain't subscribed to the 2A Teams channels, well, damn, subscribe to our channels, man. And with that being said, we'll see you all on the next one.